Gran Turismo 7 had a credit farm even at the last update. Today is June 2nd, 2022. Go to Sardegna, the World Cup Tour 800. I'm using a regular controller, not my racing rig. I'm using automatic mode because I jacked up the L2 and R2 buttons while replacing the battery in it because it was dying way too fast. So I'm running automatic. So don't worry about that. It is what it is. I don't care. I'm farming anyway. I have the NSX GT500 GT2 car or GR2 car. I think it's like 400,000 to buy it. And the only thing I did was put racing hard tires, as I show you on here. And that's just to pit once. Other than that, you can pit twice. You'll still win. These cars practically fucking make it feel like you're cheating. You look over all the settings. I may have changed the downforce a little bit just to play around with it, but I doubt it. The car handles really well and everything. You won't pass these cars super quick first lap or two. You'll pass some of them, but don't get too discouraged. You know, once they start pitting, you'll really notice the difference there. You'll start leaving them. You're going to pit once. They'll all pit at least twice. The Viper up front there will pit 3 times. It's not a bad course to run. About 26. I'm usually just over 26 minutes to finish it, and then with your clean race 50% bonus, you end up with it's like 757,000 credits. So you're over 1.5 million an hour if you want to, play it back to back to back. So if you have the time, this is probably the fastest way I've found to do so. And like I said, this GR2 car is not as fast on a straight line. As you see, I put it on 3, and that gets you to, I think, about the end of the 8th lap is when you pit. You'll pit with when the Viper pits the 2nd time, and he'll be behind you at that point anyway. Everybody else will pit at the 5th, so you'll be in front when you go into pit. And after that, I think you can run maybe a lap or like on 3, and then run it down to 2 if you really want to, or just play around with it. Just watch your laps. But the car brakes really well, handles really well. It just doesn't have that straight line speed. You'll notice that in the corners and on the straight line, that straightaway, like that, this straight ahead coming up here on the main stretch. You'll notice that at the very, very end, that they really kind of pick up the speed on you. Or if you play with a GR3 car at first, you'll notice the difference. But coming around here, those cars all usually slow down and brake and go over the track here. You can stay wide open, and it's not even a struggle in the GR2 car. The GR3s, even the Mazda that I used to run, I went all the time. You still don't, you might get lucky to be able to go through it all the way in, but a lot of times you gotta let out just a little bit. This one, I like to brake slightly early. Sometimes, as the tires wear down, you'll might go a little bit too far past, and you're wide open all the way here. Like I did here, don't do this on the inside because they always seem to like undercut that corner, so they really jack up your line. If you get on the outside and just let them go in, kind of let them race their own race. And like I said, you're going to end up passing them all anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. Don't lose your clean race bonus. Most of them are going to start slowing down here just after that 50-meter mark. You can slow down a little later. And if you get on the outside of that corner, you're going to lose some traction, as most of these corners do on this game. You're wide open here. Try to draft as much as you can. This is the first real big hairpin. You'll notice that a lot of them have to slow down a lot earlier, so be prepared for that. This one you can slow down. You can stop if you're using the brake sensors like I have on, like right at it. You'll be just fine. Coming up here, I call it my money-making corner. You come around here, a lot of them will slow down for this right-hander coming up right here, so you can be aware of that. You can go wide open around that and slow down to 3rd gear and catch this corner pretty well. You can usually gain at least a second as long as you have open track right there on whoever there is. And then this one I like to brake a little bit early too, so if you brake at the braking line, you'll end up going past, sliding at the unsticky part of the track. This brings you back to that late corner again here, the last corner of the straight. So like I said, stay wide open. You'll notice really catch them right there. You probably get a half a second at least on them, and then you'll still, because you have a run on them. There's a good chance some of the slower cars will keep gaining, but things like the Viper, you'll notice the Viper still pulls away on that straight line. From here, I'll speed this video up a little bit, get it 5 times as much. You'll be able to see where we at the 3rd lap anyway. You've already started passing a bunch of cars. I think you started in last anyway, so yeah, I'm already up over half the field in the third lap. The fourth lap be this one coming up. So at the end of this one, that Viper up front, the Viper's fast, but he ends up pitting 3 times instead of 2 like everybody else, so you really get that extra jump on him. You know, he pits twice as many times as you. You'll see he'll probably go in the pits here in a second. We'll see that. Pass him. There he goes. The other guys you'll start to catch here, and they'll all pit after this lap anyway. Lap 5. Some of these guys, the Audis usually some tracks you'll notice like they'll have a different lineup each time. This track always seems like it has the same lineup. It never rains, and all the cars seem like it always has the same driver. Like, so they all have the same personality, and the R8 always drives like a dick. So be prepared for him to not let you want to pass. And going around all that, just run. Like I said, they've all pit, so you just run an open track at that point. And at this point, you can hit all the corners like you want, especially like I said, that money-making corner. You just stay wide open in it, and drive into the apex, and if you're on the out, you should be in the twig. There it is, right there, right here. You know, try to keep on the outside, break down on the third, and if you do it right, you can top of third gear, be wide open. Be wide open and stay all the way through that corner. You end up catching quite a bit of speed. If you don't go wide open through that corner, you'll notice some of the cars, especially the Viper, will start catching you again right after that corner. You'll notice where he's at, you're at, and all that stuff. But anyway, the one before it is like where the money maker, like I call it, really is, and then the last one as well. It's even the Viper kind of slows down slightly. He taps the brakes, but doesn't really slow down a whole lot. But you stand wide open, definitely gives you an edge over him. Let it keep going. Where is it at now? 9 out of 15. So I just got out of the pits in the first lap. After the pits, the tires aren't really warm yet, so be careful. A little bit going around the corners. You end up passing them all. The Viper's in the pits and 8 as well when you went. So he never gets in front of you again. Everybody on the end of this lap's going to pit. So that guy in front of me, he'll be gone. From there, it's just open course. Where are we at? At the end of the pits, and that's it. That's all she wrote from there. And that comes at least the last lap. Sometimes, depending on the race, you can lap over half the track. I have done that before. It depends on how fast you want to run, how the race goes. You know, some of them, they make a mistake or this and that. You know, it's not always 100% the same exact race, even though it's the same car, the same personality and all that, which is kind of nice. I guess the AI changes it all up and everything for you. Which also kind of keeps it interesting every time you run, even though you're gonna blow by everyone. So that's one of the reasons why I would really like this one. If you got half an hour, run for half an hour, get it, get the experience and all that. I like doing on the wheel when my daughter or my girl's daughter isn't home. I can pull that out and not be in everybody's way. Get some time, get some money, buy some of the expensive cars. Let's see if we can slow it down here. What do we got? 2 laps left. Like I said, we're starting to lap everyone here. Let it run out and we'll go and show everything. I got the video going too fast. I think this one I came close to lapping most of half the field. I think I got up to like 12th or something like that. The fastest I ever went in this car too was for the whole race was like 26:06 or something like that. It was just over 26 minutes. I'm always never done one over 26 and a half minutes, even with the GR3 car. I'm still like under 27 minutes. This thing run up here was my money maker right there. And this hairpin, this one will sometimes get you if you don't brake slightly early. Come around in there, I'll slow it down so you can see everything. You see I'm running on 2. I want you to pit, but get all that, first place, no big deal. And how hard is this to get there? It looks like it's 26:18, I think is what it was, and that's just average driving, especially trying to concentrate on making the video and stuff too. I was talking during it, but I prefer to do it this way. And there it is, 727,000 credits. You know, so just over 1,400 in less than an hour. So if you did the exact deal, you'd probably come up to, you know, just over 1.5 million an hour. And if you want to get a faster car, some other people have done other cars. I like this one. It was nice. It's a really easy car to drive. Very, very easy car to drive. Predictable. Doesn't get out of your hand. No understeer, no oversteer. Just drives nice, grips well, turns well. Can't complain. So that's my #1 way of credit farming in Gran Turismo 7. If you have half an hour to kill or more, I'll make another video of the other one that I like to do if I have less time, which is with the Ferrari. If you have about 10 minutes, I'll make a video about that, and I'll see you next time.